Just got through watching Wonder Woman 84. There is the structure there of a pretty interesting movie. It's one, don't expect the big raucous action adventure thing. It's a quieter story here, a little more personal, and it does kind of go in a few things. There are some anachronisms, like Mary pointed out in one of her rants. No, the Smithsonian does not keep their planes flight ready and fueled up. No, and plus also they could use a little explanation of how Steve suddenly, because he was flying World War I biplanes. Have you seen the cockpit of a World War I biplane? It's as basic as you get. It's not much more than a soapbox racer. Okay? You got a stick, you got your pedals, you got maybe a couple of gauges, and that's it. All right? You had to have somebody out front spinning the propeller. There was no start button. Okay? So the fact that this guy, this World War I pilot is able to fly spoilers galore here, guys. You should know that going in. I'm going to put it in the title. But a World War I pilot, we don't even know if he was an ace. He knew how to fly. But again, there's a big difference between flying some old Curtis Jenny and a Jaguar jet. It wasn't even an American jet they had there for some reason. So I would have changed that, and there definitely would not have gone to the Smithsonian, because all those planes are lucky if they even have engines in them. Okay, let's put it that they probably weren't flight worthy when they showed up. Okay, I think the Enola Gay came in pieces. Okay,
Even the Looking Glass plane at the SAC Museum.
Yeah, most planes, and I've been to a few museums in my time, and even the museum at I think Moffett or March. I think it's in Riverside County, old SAC base. I'm sure it's still there, but I with a friend who worked there in the museum there, and I got to crawl inside of a B-49 fuselage. It was inside, no wings. But yeah, these planes are not flight worthy, and I went on the flight line. They got the full size planes out there. No, these planes did not come in on their own power, probably. Okay. And if they did, then they were immediately made not flight worthy. Things were taken out, and it's like, okay. Now I think of the F4, you can probably crawl inside there, and this where the engine was, but engines were. But no, they would not have had a flight ready Jaguar right there on the flight line. In '84, I'm not entirely sure the annex at Dulles was even there. Okay, so there's that. And I also doubt that an archaeologist like Diana was would have access to the Air and Space Museum, especially the more off limits facilities. Like if Dulles was available, it would have been one of them. So there are inaccuracies there, and there's like songs from the wrong era, songs that should have been all over that day and place weren't, And I think a large part of that could have been solved by just make it present day. Okay? 1984, I'm sorry, was not that noteworthy a year. Okay? The book was more noteworthy than the year itself. So I think they could have easily done present day here, and they had a little more fun with it. Played current music. And also, the fashions were this was a parody of an 80s movie, okay? In that respect. But, like I said, it is very well acted. It's very well directed. The script does let it down a bit, but only in the details. There's still a very emotional story there, and I think it's worth watching. And it's not as fast paced as the previous ones, and it is more of a personal, emotional type story. So take it for what it is. That's the thing. And I like the little gag with how to work in the invisible plane gig, the invisible plane thing in there, and it might even make a little bit of sense. You wonder if Diane ever found that coffee mug, but there's something there. Okay, there's something there. It's a little schmaltzy, but there's something there. So take it for what it is. Is it going to make its money back? I doubt it. because the backlash is such that I think they wanted a big romping thing, and they're not getting it. That's a lot of things. Like with the initial, reaction to the Orville, they were expecting one thing, got something else, and suddenly, oh, it's horrible. No, it's not what you thought it was. Go back and watch again. Now that you know what it is, watch it. And again, the acting is fine. I think everyone is diving in with it. It was Gal Gadot and Chris Pine definitely have the chemistry there, and she did Diana rape that guy? Well, I don't think he was the type to really complain, though. If he did know about it, it's just like you just get the feeling he got extremely lucky. Somewhere in there, the thing did I bang a demigoddess? And I think Cheetah looked okay. I think they fixed it for the most part, but also I'm watching it on a small screen, thing. I don't know how it would look on the big screen, but
That's why you should have put it on your thumb drive.
we can. It's on my it's on my backup hard drive. We can always plug it in the TV later, but for now, basically, it's not that bad. Okay, it's not a big steaming pile. It's got problems, but it's also not what people were expecting. I think there is a concern that the awful, everyone's going crazy about that the mid-credit scene with Linda Carter. Why did they dub her voice? That doesn't make sense. Linda Carter's voice, unless it was bad that day, but still, what the voice they put in there didn't sound anything like her. So I don't know what they're trying to pull.
Yeah, that was kind of...
Now I do think when Diana's telling the story of Asteria, and they show the close up, and suddenly she has green eyes, and Linda Carter has very, very blue eyes. I wonder if they changed that one, because if they had shown those famous blue eyes, it would have given up the gig. Because hey, isn't that? I think they probably would have slid on by it and not noticed it, but it's just little choices here and there that kind of throw things off.
Oh, what about Pedro?
I think the fact that they redeemed the character in the end, I think Pedro did okay. It's definitely a deviation from Max Lord we saw in the comic books. I think in that one, the version we saw in Supergirl with Peter Fashionado, that's probably closer to Max Lord in the comics. But in the comics, he really is more, I don't know, I think beyond a Trump character. This is just some power mad magnet who, reforms the Justice League for his own reasons, but he reforms the Justice League. Therein lies a few tales there, but, and I don't know what they've done with him lately. But, it's not that bad, okay? It's okay. It's fine. It could have been better. With a few simple choices, like, what's the fascination with 84? Okay? It's like, just do present day. And it would have been a nice little, because it would have been, at the time that it was made, it would have been a nice little 100 years since World War I. So you could have had all kinds of fun with, imagine Steve trying to make sense of an iPhone. Or modern computers, or some of the cars I got, or modern, a jetliner today looks the same as a jetliner in the 80s or even the 70s. So.
From the sounds of it, he was having problems just making sense of the futon.
Yeah, he had problems with the futon. That's something that should be looked into. How old is the concept of a futon? And because there are also a few things. Okay, Steve, subways have been around since Victorian times, so you should not really be amazed that a train underground is. No, they had them in London. They had them in New York. Okay. The New York subway system has been around since the late 1800s, so this should not be a shocker. Yeah. So it's just little things here that, stuff like that, And I imagine there's also probably exercise bikes back in the the teens also. So, well, I could get this bike. Come on, okay? It wasn't even a new bike, exercise bike they was dealing with there, okay? That thing probably dated to the 50s, but. So yeah, there's plenty to tear this thing apart with if you want to, but it's fine, okay? It's not really, it's not a steaming pile. It's not the greatest thing ever thing, and I don't think it's gonna figure that prominently in Patty Jenkins' resume. But it's not not a total embarrassment. Okay, it's like there's a let off. This year's bad. This year's bad enough. It could have been a hell of a lot worse than what it was. So it's like it's okay. Okay.
Again, I've seen a hell of a lot worse.
Oh God, we've been through a hell of a lot worse. Okay.
Like this one movie I saw once on VHS called Frauds.
Hmm.
Yeah, about Phil Collins is this weird little guy that like an insurance fraudster.
Okay, I think I remember the poster for that at least.
Yeah, that thing was.
When Phil Collins was doing his acting thing for a while. No. For all the people saying, the Stevie Turner's mine, just relax a bit, okay? It's not going to be the raucous thing. Zack Snyder was only producing, okay? And again, Patty Jenkins, it's like stick to directing, okay? Let other people handle the script, okay? I mean, the director, you can have ultimate say anyways, but for the most part, no. Writing is not really a strong suit just yet. I think you learn it, but it's like not now. Okay. But yeah, that's it. It's okay. There is room in this world for movies that are okay. Okay. Still gonna do that Pennyworth thing. Well, I'll just throw it on now. Okay. Well, I did Pennyworth. No, The Boys. We'll throw this in there quicker. So we've seen the first 2 episodes of The Boys. It's going to be Comic Matters, so what the hell? Jacking on here. It's a different series. Okay. Again, only 2 episodes in so far, and I understand it goes really dark for them real quickly, but as a satire of superheroes in general, and sometimes very pointedly, like the Deep getting one kind of forcing himself on the new recruit, Starlighter, and then her going back at him and saying, "No, I've been talking. You're not number 2 there. You're the joke. You're the fish guy." It's like nice little summary of how Aquaman was seen for a very long time. He's just the fish guy. He's a joke. He's only brought in when there's a riverfront nearby. And so it's like that character didn't get taken seriously until Peter David came in, and granted, turned Aquaman into a raving asshole, but at that point, Aquaman had the personality of a futon, so at that point, any improvement was any change was an improvement. But enjoyed it so far, so we, I'll get more into when we start doing more, The Boys and Pennyworth, and I gotta wonder if Gary is going to show up as a character in this thing, but yeah. Anyway, with that said, hopefully, we had a little incident earlier where the front desk hadn't gotten word that we were extended for a month. I'm hoping that word has come in by now, and the fact that it's after checkout time and no one's bothered us again, I guess someone got the notice. I'll go check down later, but yeah. For now, PayPal, Patreon, subscribe, star, share, like all around, and we will talk at you later.
Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Well, the plan is ignored. Action is what's ahead. Life is a great big bang up. Whenever there's a hang up, you'll find